Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling the really complex relationship between India and Pakistan.
Focusing specifically on those persistent claims of cross-border terrorism.
Exactly. And it's crucial because, well, both nations have nuclear weapons, so the stakes are incredibly high. Our aim here is to unpack these accusations, look at the ceasefire situation, all based on the sources we've reviewed.
Absolutely. And you really need to look at the history to understand the present. India's long accused Pakistan-based groups for attacks.
Right. Things like the ongoing issues in Kashmir, going back to the 2001 Parliament attack.
And more recently, the Pulwama bombing in 2019. These are major incidents cited by India.
Yeah. But Pakistan's perspective is different. They deny official state involvement in these specific attacks.
They do, and they often highlight that Pakistan itself is a major victim of terrorism, suffering significant losses.
It feels like a pattern, doesn't it? Both sides accusing the other of supporting proxy groups, insurgents. It's a long-standing issue.
It is, which made the February 2021 ceasefire agreement quite significant, a mutual agreement along the line of control.
And that did have a positive impact, at least initially. Less shooting, safer for civilians nearby.
Yes, definitely. There was a noticeable drop in cross-border firing incidents. It brought a measure of calm.
But you mentioned these things tend to be fragile.
Historically, yes, very fragile. And while we've seen the accusations start up again.
So India is claiming renewed infiltration attempts, people trying to cross the border.
That's the claim from the Indian side. Continued attempts, they say.
And Pakistan's response?
Pakistan counters with its own accusations. Things like Indian interference in their Balochistan province. And they've also accused India of staging false flag operations, basically trying to make it look like Pakistan is responsible for attacks.
That adds another layer of complexity.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole information war aspect.
Oh, absolutely. Social media, propaganda, disinformation. It all muddies the waters.
Makes it incredibly hard to figure out what's actually happening on the ground, especially with nationalist feelings running high on both sides.
Precisely. So the latest situation involves India reporting these attempted incursions.
In Pakistan calling them baseless allegations.
Right. While also reaffirming, publicly at least, their commitment to the ceasefire and wanting regional peace.
It leaves you wondering, how do you determine who's right or wrong in all this? It seems almost impossible.
It's incredibly difficult. Both governments manage their narratives very carefully. Information is tightly controlled.
Well, it's undeniable there's the human cost, isn't it? Soldiers, civilians on both sides, caught in the middle.
Tragically, yes. Families affected, lives lost or disrupted. That part is very real, regardless of the political claims.
And you mentioned the media potentially inflaming things. Peace talks seem to stall whenever a new incident happens, too.
That's often the pattern. An incident occurs, accusations fly, and any dialogue progress just evaporates.
So what are international observers saying? What's the view from outside?
Generally, there's a strong call for dialogue, for both India and Pakistan to actually talk to each other directly.
Makes sense.
And also a push for both countries to genuinely crack down on all extremist groups operating within their territories.
And perhaps not use these terrorism accusations quite so much as diplomatic tools.
That's part of the recommendation, yes. To try and de-link the issue from broader diplomatic maneuvering, if possible.
Looking forward then, it's hard not to think about the potential loss here. All this focus on conflict.
Instead of, say, investing more in education, in healthcare, in innovation for their people.
It's a stark contrast. Resources diverted to security and military readiness that could, transform lives.
It really does make you think about how history will judge this period, this constant tension versus what could have been.
A powerful thought to end on. While sorting out the right and wrong might remain elusive, the path towards peace seems clearly the better option for everyone involved. Thanks for digging into this with us.